Okay guys, it is, like the sign said, the first 100 of the FN 509. I have not fired a single shot out of this pistol yet. I've had it for a little while and I'm just now getting an opportunity to get it out to the range. It's the beginning of July, the very beginning of July, and before I forget, I want to say, this pistol comes with two 17-round magazines, but FN is having a special at the moment. You take your receipt for the pistol and page 3 from the 4473. So if you go buy one of these, remember, get the person at the gun store to get you a photocopy of page 3 of your form 4473. That's the one you fill out for the background check and for the one they won't let you leave without completing. And then go to FN's website and check around. I'll put a link below. It's only good for, I think, a month, maybe 2. I forget. I'll clarify that if I can. But go to their website and look at this offer because you'll get 3 free additional 17-round magazines. That is a heck of a deal. It's like, $130, $140 value at retail price. So the gun comes with 2. You can get 3 more for free if you buy starting July 1st onto, whatever. All right, so that was my public service announcement for today. I'm going to fire the very first shots. If you're new to the channel, first 100 is literally that. I have never fired a shot through this pistol. I'm going to shoot the first 100, usually more than 100 rounds through it, and I'm going to bring you along for the ride. I'm going to tell you in real time what I think of it. So let's start. I'm 10 yards from my target. I have not charged the gun. All right, 10 yards from my target. Standard IDPA target. This is, of course, a 9mm. It's got a nice sight picture, nice 3-dot combat sight picture. They are glow-in-the-dark type sights, so they will absorb natural light or artificial light, and they will glow for a time. But they are not true night sights. No tritium or anything like that. Okay. It's going to be a little challenging today because it is about 400 degrees out here. I laid a frozen pizza down on the ground a minute ago and I plan to have that for lunch, unless it's overdone. But enough about me and whining. Let's talk about the gun. So the grip is typical FN grip, which kind of means it sucks, or at least that's my opinion. You got all these big knobby plastic protrusions of various sizes and shapes. They don't really make you hold on to the pistol. It's slipping and sliding in my hand. My hands are already sweating. So it absolutely needs a Talon grip. Trigger feels nice though. Now FN does make a really nice trigger on their striker fired pistols. Feels pretty much like the FN9 actually, and this gun, to be quite frank, is very much like the FN9 in a lot of ways. I'll talk about that maybe a little bit in this video. I'll probably do a comparison between those two in the very short term. and see if we can figure out why this is different than the FN9 other than a few cosmetics. Let's load up magazines and go again. One of the things I do want to mention, like the FN9 and the FN9C, this pistol does have ambidextrous mag catch, right hand, left hand, both simultaneously, which is what ambidextrous means. But in dry practice, and even now, had a little bit of trouble with the right-hander side. The button on the left sort of reminds me of the 9C. However, the button for the left-handed folks works flawlessly and effortlessly. So the mag release kind of sucks. The FN509 comes in actually a paper box or cardboard box, and inside that is this soft case. Pretty simple packaging actually, and I'm not so sure I don't prefer this over a lot of the hard plastic cases that after a while take up a heck of a lot of room and are hard to store. So this is kind of a nice alternative, I think. Pretty simple. So you have the pistol, you have the second magazine. First magazine is in the gun, and then inside this pouch we have an alternate back strap, which is the straight back strap. Hold it up here where you can see it. The one that's on is slightly curved. I know from previous experience with FN pistols that I thought I would like the straight back strap better, but I actually like the curved better. Other information like the owner's manual and stuff is in the paper box, not in the pouch. So basically, keep everything here, and this gives you a nice sort of a pistol rug type pouch to get your gun back and forth to the range or whatever you need to do with it. Okay, but this is by no means any kind of an official comparison. I will probably do a video dedicated to that, but here is the 509 compared to the FNS9. FNS9 is the one with the stainless steel slide. On the right, you can see how very similar they are. Almost exactly the same size. For all intents and purposes, they are exactly the same height. They have the same capacity. They almost take the same magazines, but they don't quite. The boxes are identical, but the base plates are different, so you can't really interchange the magazines. So you can see they are basically, to the quick glance, same gun. So the question is, what's really different? You can see cosmetically there's some differences. There's differences the way the two slides are made. But what's the real difference here? I don't know. To do a comparison, dig deeper and find out. Okay, I called Target Medic and they have come and repaired my target. Good as new. Gave me a nice orange dot to aim at. I'm still 10 yards away. Let's see if the slide stop will also function easily as a slide release. Yeah, pretty good. And it is also ambidextrous. Once again, proving there's no amount of fun I'm not willing to have in order to bring you mediocre entertainment. I'm 10 yards. Did I say that? The trigger really is enjoyable. And I like the sight picture. Just not crazy about the grips. I'm also not crazy about being beamed in the forehead. I did notice the ejection is a little weak. I'm shooting MagTech ammo, which I'm not overly familiar with. Something that was on sale at Midway USA or Cabela's or somewhere by the case. But I haven't had any problems with it. It seems accurate enough for 115 grain ball. Okay. Whew. Man, I'm tempted to put on a glove just on my left hand. Sweaty skin sliding on sweaty skin does not make for the best grip. All right, so that was 15 rounds into the orange dot, and it looks like might have a few dancing on the edge, but looks like they all went into the orange dot. Okay, I got a fresh aim point on my target. Up in the head area, I got a 1-inch square dot. At 10 yards, I don't know, do the math. That's a pretty fine little aim point. Switched over to Herder's Select. Also 115 grain ammo. Right in the forehead. The front sight obliterates that square. So I'm trying to perch it just on top with a 6 o'clock. Which is challenging with these sweaty hands. I wouldn't call this trigger light, but it's very, very crisp. And it has a great reset. Hear it? Sight picture is good. I love the way an FN striker fire shoots. But I do not like the grip texture at all. All right, so I'm somewhere around the 1-inch square. Not bad, but boy, I tell you, my hands are doing a lot of slipping and sliding, so it's hard to maintain a decent grip. I'm using my index finger, my trigger finger, on the opposite side mag release because I just can't get, well, there, it worked that time. Let's see. Maybe it's breaking in. Well, all right. Still trouble, but works every time real easy from the other side. So, not a great grip surface and a problematic magazine release, but a beautiful trigger, great sight picture. Seems to be one heck of an accurate shooter. My thoughts so far. Finishing up the last of the MagTech ammo was about maybe 70 rounds, 60 rounds. Okay, now the slide release is a little tough. Try it from the other side. Nope. Hit or miss. I don't like the ejection pattern at all. And so far with both ammo types, both ammo brands I should say, it's clobbering me. And all the spent cases are literally like right next to me. So it doesn't eject very powerfully at all. And over the years I've found Herder Select to be a fairly snappy round actually, for that sort of garden variety range ammo. So it is by no means watered down. I'm going to actually try some. I'm going to try some of my competition loads, which are light, deliberately, and see how it handles those. Okay, a little test. Sig Sauer Elite Performance V-Crown, 115 grain, 5 rounds. This is one of my very favorite carry rounds, and I found it to be super accurate and very, very potent. So it's not a plus P rated, but it is a very hot standard round. So let's try this, see how the ejection pattern is, and just for fun, see how the accuracy looks and all that. Let's see how the pistol likes a good defensive round. All right, kind of all over the place, but ejection looks a little bit better, just because of the velocity of the, the energy of the round is throwing the case a little bit further, not much. At least I didn't get beamed in the forehead. Now these are just an opinion, hand load competition rounds. And I deliberately load them to be just a little bit above power floor. So let's see how these do. There's 10 of these. Now you can see the difference there, right? Ow. Okay, so that was my loads. Well, actually, there's one that didn't quite feed all the way. Now, extractor's behind it now. Bear with me, I gotta clear a malfunction here. Come on. Come on. Alright, I'm going to need a squib rod to poke this out of here because it got in ahead of the extractor, so I'll be back in a minute. Okay, popped that round out of the chamber and loaded it back in the magazine along with another 10. So let's go again. So it may have a little bit of cycling problem with a lighter round. You can see how light these are. Even for this weak ejection. Actually, it's nice because they're just weak enough where they don't hit me. Okay, another failure to feed. So, and that was the last round. Last round didn't feed all the way. So, then pop him out of there. Nothing wrong with it, it just didn't have enough pressure going to feed it. So if I were to shoot this gun in matches, I would have to shoot a hotter load, or I would have to change the spring. You see how I have the case trained to perch right on my shoulder? You too can learn these tricks. Okay, so about 150 rounds today through the FN 509, and my initial thoughts, most of which I shared during the shooting, so I try not to be redundant, but my initial thoughts are it is a nice pistol. This is, you know, it's Glock 19 size. It's basically identical to the FNS 9, you know, in almost every way. So I will do a comparison, put those two head to head and see if I can figure out what's different about them other than a couple of small shapes that are different. But so it's a sort of a Glock 19 sized handgun, 17 round capacity, nice trigger. It's a striker fired gun, 9mm, nice trigger. It's crisp and has a great tactile reset. It feels good and it's easy to shoot this gun accurately. The sights are nice, gives you a good sight picture. There's plenty of room if you want to be able to fine tune it. If you're looking for a really tight fit front blade into the rear notch, this doesn't have that. You've got a little bit of airspace, 3 dots. Things I don't like, the magazine release for right-handers, the one on the left side of the pistol, I have a really hard time, you can see, seriously, and I'm not, this is not for effect. I am trying to release this magazine. I can't get it. Now, I'm going to use my index finger on this side. Boom. So there's definitely some kind of a problem. And I've experienced a similar problem with the FNS 9C. So, you know, I attributed that one to it just being really flush mounted controls. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe FN has a problem figuring out how to make that work. If you're going to have a problem, just here's a tip, FN, if you're going to have a problem, make it be a problem for left-handers. The grip is cool looking, it's fun to look at, and it's enjoyable to pick up and hold, you know, in the comfort of your home. When you get it out to a hot environment like this range and your hands start getting sweaty, it doesn't provide much at all, because you've got this big knobby hard plastic surface with, and actually, you know, the bigger the knobs and the more of them there are, the less contact there is with your skin, if you think about it. So your skin is just touching the edges, the outside edges of these knobs. It's not really touching a lot of surface. So I think they, you know, I think they go the wrong direction in that respect. There's a little bit right up in here. I'll show this in a close-up, but there's a little bit right up in here that actually, if they did the whole grip like that, would probably be fantastic. It would be like sort of like SIG's E2 type of texture. But the controls are nicely placed. They are all very well made. The fit and finish on the gun is excellent. So as you saw, the ejection with factory ammo was a little bit on the weak side. Even with powerful ammo like the SIG Elite Performance V-Crown, it threw the furthest case maybe 3 feet from me. So it could use a little tweaking there. You know, we might need a little bit. Maybe it's got too much spring, and maybe their attempt to reduce felt recoil has been a little overzealous, and they've put a little too heavy a spring in it. So if you lighten up that spring, you're going to get more rapid slide travel, and you should eject further. The other thing is, we saw with my low power competition loads, there were some failures to feed, and the ejection was really pitiful on those. So again, a lighter spring would help. All in all, good gun. I mean, FN makes good quality firearms. Whether you like them or whether you don't like them, you can't take that away. This one, there's a lot to like about this gun. There are some things to not like about it. I'm going to revisit it again. I'm going to compare it to the FNS9 again, see if I can figure out what the heck is different between them. I don't know. There you go. There you have it. That is just my opinion, and that was the first 100 on the FN 509.